Hello everyone, welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where we're playing with just all of the mods. So last time we had a pretty successful mission. We had a orbit of the moon, we returned with an absolute bunch of science here, and so now we can continue. Okay, so I'm going to pick up a few missions here. The next of the history ones, the ones that kind of guiding us through this, suggest that we rendezvous two vessels in orbit of Kerbin, so I'm going to pick that up, and in particular I'm going to go for a couple of rescue missions here. So we've got Al here in orbit of Kerbin and Joan in orbit of Kerbin, so we go pick those two up, get a couple new extra people, and rendezvousing with their craft should count for the mission. Also, just since it's here and has a 10-year expiry, I'm going to pick this one up to plant a flag on the moon, because we're definitely going to do that sooner or later, not today but somewhere in the future, and so may as well get us an extra 200 grand for doing that. Alright, but let's go over to R&D and grab just a load of science. We've got 900 to spend, which isn't unlimited, but it is quite a fair chunk, so let's see what we can get. I think the two big ones for really helping us is going to be heavy rocketry and fuel systems. Whereas I'm going to go through, get all of this tier, so aviation, not really wanting it for its own sake, but pick it up anyway. Flight control, bit more useful. And enhanced survivability, we are going to need this eventually. Still got 600. So we can grab electrics to give us some better batteries, so we don't run out of power again. Miniaturization is really useful because it gives us more EVA experiments. Get space exploration for some extra science that we can do. Not for this time, but landing to move us towards being able to do that, along with simple command modules. Gonna grab advanced construction just for some more parts that we can use, and round off with advanced flight controls there. That's us really upgraded our science. We're going to design a new part here. Job of this section is going really just to go up, rescue these two Kerbals and come back again. I think I'm still going to start with a Mark 1 command pod. I am going to put a crew cabin on so that we can pick up the additional crew members. Oh, actually, what would probably be a bit better is if we use this KV3 Pomegranate reentry module, since this can fit 3 crewmen on board, so we don't have to worry about messing around with moving some of them out to fit the others in, since the passenger module doesn't have any additional doors on it. That should work pretty well. Anyway, I'm going to set to work creating this rocket. I'll throw that in a time lapse and catch you afterwards. Okay, so here we have the Melodie, or the Minimal Excess Launch, Orbit and Descent Impressive Experiment. Just there to go up, as it says, orbit, rescue some folk up there, and descend back down again. Also later can be used just as a general tourist module if we need some more tourists cash in. Otherwise, there we go. Now, Delta V is definitely overkill on this one, but that's fine. I'm partially building this in mind to use the rear booster segment as the basis of our future moon lander. Now we only want one Kerbal going up with us, so Jebediah is going to take the stick on this one, leaves 2 spaces open for the 2 people we have to rescue. Okay, now I'm just going to wait until these people are in a little bit of a better position for the intercept. There we go. Alright, so SAS on full, set that one as a target so I can keep an eye on it as we go. Otherwise, let's go. Okay, tad sluggish off the launch pad. Yep, really need a more powerful engine on this bottom stage, but this is the most powerful one that I had. Should have just put boosters on it, but never mind. Also forgot to load the EVA experiments, but never mind, we'll be able to do that in the future. I was hoping to get further on that stage. Never mind, decouple and ignite the next stage. Getting some random experiments here as we are going. Can even grab an EVA experiment. Okay, there we go. Now we're in orbit. Okay, so it's going to be easier for us to burn up a little bit in order to slow the time it's taking us to do a full orbit. That way we can fall back in our orbit, intercept owls first, and then just boost to a higher orbit so it takes us longer to go round, and wait for Joan here to sort of catch us up. Okay, it's got tiny little burn. Yep, gives us a intercept of 100 meters. Alright, and as we're getting close, just bleeding our relative velocity, pushing our retrograde marker onto the anti-target marker. Oop, that stage is out, so detach, ignite the next stage. See if we can bring us to a stop here. Right, that counted as rendezvousing two vessels. This is because I've got various graphics mods on. Night is really dark here. This is going to be a lot easier on the day side. So I am just going to fast forward us a little bit until the sunrise. There we go. I can actually see my pod. We have completed the mission for rendezvousing the vessels. So our Kerman can just EVA. He can release, and he can just make his way over the 100 meters between the two ships. And he can grab an EVA report while he's here, why not? Doing his first job for science. Now I just need to figure out which one of these is the door. There we go, grab and board. Cool. One Kerbal rescued. We actually have us on a intercept here. Just going to burn right up, increase our the time taken of our orbit. Yeah, doing our burn, push us into a much higher orbit, so it takes ages for us to get back around. Then next time we're here, we should just be able to do a little braking manoeuvre and rescue Joan. Right, there we go, within a kilometre orbit there. Alright, and just let us warp around. So we're going to make a little pass of them, then get a tiny bit of separation, and then re-encounter them shortly afterwards, and that's where we're going to be trying to brake. 3, 2, 1, braking burn. There we go, slow down just in time, almost hit the damn thing. Bring us to a nice gentle stop next to them. There we go, time to jump over to Joan. Joan can hop out. Pop over to the other pod. Bounce off of it. And jump in. There we go. Okay, I'm just gonna brake us down towards Kerbal. Alright, beginning our braking burn. Trying to get us as close to KSP as possible so that we get most of our resources back. Although we're not really recovering too much, still good practice. See all three of them there, all quite happy, stuffed into the pod. Alright, beginning our re-entry now. Course is looking good. Nice, that's the last of the fuel. It's going to kick us over to the side, so when we decouple, the other stage moves away quite sharply. And as the sun sets, we arrive just over the ridge from KSP, so it can be nicely picked up, no problem at all. And I just need to see how far this thing's going to roll. Okay, not far. It's the other stage coming crashing down. That's fine. Recover vessel. Perfect, so still managed to get 200 science on that. Got 97% of the value back from that recovery. Too bad it was only 3 grand, but still, something. And we now have 3 crewmen. We have Al, who is an engineer, and Joan, who is another pilot. Very useful considering Valentina's dead, so we needed another pilot. Okay, yeah, the initial stage burnt up, that is absolutely fine. But we completed the Explore Kerbal mission, so we managed to rendezvous. Also got a world first milestone for transferring crew, saved Al, saved Joan. So that gives us a nice big chunk of money. And the next mission that will be coming up next time is to land on the moon. So I'm very much looking forward to that. I hope you are. If you enjoyed this, please do leave a like or subscribe. Really does help the channel. And otherwise, I hope to catch you in the next video. Until then, remember to be kind to yourselves and everyone else. Cheers!